uh, helped us get to this point of remodeling and revamping this physical space, which is quite oblong for an American Center based on the architecture of this building. But we did it with the help and much gratitude for those who brought this together to get to this point. And as you probably know, the American Center and all of our American spaces across Nigeria, we are here as a platform to be with Nigerians, the public, from youth to young adults to older adults, as we work with across our American corners and in the space itself, state-of-the-art tech equipment and an environment designed to support learning, creativity, and innovation. And we're particularly honored today to have Ambassador Mills take time out of his very busy schedule to talk a little bit more about the importance of American spaces in Nigeria, but also globally throughout our U.S. missions around the world. As many of you know, he has a long, distinguished career as a diplomat, these 38 years. Most recently, Ambassador Nigeria, fair amount of time as Charge d'Affaires in Canada. Prior to that, our ambassador to Armenia, and most prior to Nigeria, he was the deputy representative of the U.S. mission to the United Nations. And I am particularly grateful that Ambassador Mills has been here in support of our public diplomacy efforts, even with respect to American spaces, because everyone considers him, and I've seen him in action, and his spouse, for that matter, as well, Lee Carter, who's with us today. They are patrons of the arts and culture, and not only that, but they do see the value of arts and culture bringing disparate people together and connecting, as well as the entrepreneurial opportunities that come on the business side of art and culture. And that is something that we have a great emphasis on here at U.S. Mission Nigeria with respect to our American commercial diplomacy efforts with Nigeria and Nigerians in the business sector. So with that, and without further ado, I will hand it over to our guest and honored speaker, Ambassador Richard Mills.
Well, thank you, Lee, and hello to everyone in the room. Hello to everyone joining virtually. Lee, thank you for those gracious remarks. I think I enjoy being called patrons of the arts. Of course, I wish you hadn't mentioned 38 years as a diplomat, but you're absolutely right. Lee and I couldn't be happier to be here today for this reopening of our terrific American Center here in Abuja, part of a network of American corners, American spaces across Nigeria. And let me say, part of the reason that I love American spaces is because they celebrate what is best in America. And that is not just that we've contributed to arts and culture around the world, but that our arts and culture express the values of America: inclusion, openness, diversity, welcoming people from other lands, and drawing from the best of their cultural traditions to infuse a unique American cultural and artistic approach. Standing behind me, this terrific mural, I hope everyone virtually can see it. And I think the people on this mural, from Aretha Franklin to Harrison Ford, Sidney Poitier to James Baldwin and Aretha Franklin, represent exactly that. The best of American values, excitement of American culture, the energy of American culture, drawing from so many disparate traditions of peoples that have come to become part of the American experiment. Of course, the other hallmarks of all these famous figures behind me are personal qualities too. Personal qualities of commitment, perseverance, dedication, and listening to others. which is something I think all these artists did. James Baldwin is over here on the left, a great American writer. And Baldwin very famously said, to be an American writer is to be a global writer, because an American writer must listen to all voices, all the voices of those that have come to American shores. Let me talk just a little about American Spaces before I hand over the mic. American Spaces, for me, are such an important venue. They're a trusted venue for young people here in Nigeria, young Nigerians who are seeking opportunities to learn about the United States, who maybe want to improve their English, who maybe want to develop professional skills they can use in their careers here in Nigeria. The American Center, like this one, offers a really warm, welcoming, inviting space where students, entrepreneurs, community leaders can connect, they can collaborate, and hopefully they can even innovate. Through educational advising here, through some of the entrepreneurial training programs that are available through the spaces, and through digital literacy programs, I think American Spaces are equipping Nigerians with the tools that they need to succeed in what is a rapidly changing economy. I think these centers also, in a way, embody the very special partnership between the United States and Nigeria, two great nations. They reflect, I think, the shared commitment that both nations have to democratic values, mutual respect, and to the pursuit of knowledge and creativity. No one's more creative than an average Nigerian high school student, I can tell you that. Through American Spaces, we are celebrating the dynamism, the energy of both our societies. And by rededicating today this opening of this American Center, I think we're reaffirming our belief at the U.S. Embassy in the power of people-to-people contacts and the value of those contacts in building a brighter future for both Nigeria and the United States. Let me end by telling a story I've shared with some people in this room, but it's one that has shaped my view of American Spaces and Lee's as well. When I was ambassador to Armenia, there was a people's uprising, a velvet revolution. Sorry?
It's a revolution.
It was a revolution.
Peaceful. Yeah.
It came from the bottom up. And it was a revolution against what at the time was a pretty corrupt authoritarian government in Armenia. And throughout 10 days of this massive street protest, our concern, my concern, many Armenians' concern was, would the demonstrations stay nonviolent? Would they stay so focused? And the ability of the demonstrators to channel nonviolence and the message of change in a nonviolent way. On day 6 of this people's uprising, I was snuck in the back of a hotel to meet with the head of the People's Revolution. And as I was waiting to go in to see him, partly to deliver the message that the United States government would support this as long as it stayed nonviolent, that it would be difficult for us to support a revolution that turned violent. I met with the gentleman's chief of staff, who was a young guy, 25, 26. And I told him, I'm really impressed how you have taken the messaging of nonviolence and channeled nonviolence into your approach to how you're trying to promote change and revolution here. And he said, yes, we learned about that. I learned about that from reading Martin Luther King's book, Letters from the Birmingham Jail. And I said to him, where in the world did you get a copy of Martin Luther King's Letters from the Birmingham Jail? Well, I think you can all guess where he did. He went to an American Space, an American Center in Yerevan, Armenia, when he was 16. And someone from the embassy was there talking about Martin Luther King, and he had picked up the book. And he told me, this book, Martin Luther King's words, are animating and driving our approach here. So that's the power of American centers. That's the power of American spaces. They can affect people and years later promote real change. So let me end by saying, as we look ahead, the importance of American spaces, I think, are only going to continue to grow. They are bridges of understanding, they're bridges of opportunity. And I really hope everyone who's listening, everybody who's in this room can take advantage of the resources and programs that the American Spaces offer. And join us. Join us here at the Embassy, join all my colleagues in working to what is all our goal here at the Embassy, to strengthen the ties and the relationships between Nigeria and the United States. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And we will, as I just say very brief closing remarks, Ondawana, our American Center and American Spaces Director for Nigeria, you can go ahead and, if you be so kind of start pulling away the podium, just so we can all behold what's behind us a little more in focus. And as I mentioned at the beginning, there were many people that got us to this point after about 9 months of remodeling and refurbishing. And that includes our facilities maintenance team here at the Embassy. It includes our General Services Office for procurements. It just goes on and on. We also have gratitude for esteemed guests among our alumni associations here, because I consider you all some of the software of what we do, because we tap into your organizations to have great programming inside these walls. So I want to just end and close on with special thanks to Ernest Ibe, the lead artist of the Wallerman Company, who was in his team are responsible for both murals. The Americans celebrated behind us, which took internally, it was quite the decision process. Who are we going to have on this wall? But in the end, we're all very happy with those who are depicted here. As we all know, there are many, many more Americans to celebrate, including some of the founding fathers, who we've also put on our walls pictorially to celebrate what's known as Freedom 250, to celebrate America's upcoming 250th anniversary this coming July 4th. There will be lots of galas and events, some of which will be in this particular room and other spaces throughout Nigeria. And one of the murals over there to the right, we hope you also appreciate the depiction of northern Nigeria, because the embassy's area of responsibility is everything to the north. The consulate has everything in the south. So we feel that the artist really did justice to our Nigerian history and culture, that which you see. So with that, thank you, Ernest and team, for the beautiful paintings that you've done. And with that, I will turn over to Whitney Fox, one of the principal organizers of this event, with Ola, to help organize the group photos now.
I just want to say thank you all for coming here and joining us for the reopening of our American Center. We want to thank everybody who's here in person, and of course our virtual guests online. So at this time, we're going to formally end the ceremony. Thank you again to everybody that's participating virtually. And if you'd like to come up and join the ambassador for a photo, we ask that you slowly make your way up here, and we'll kind of get everybody sorted so we can get a great photo. Just a reminder to everyone to please remove your badges. All staff, please remove your badges for a photo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Whitney. Should we have the artist come up first?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
It's like an